A very sickly and cognitively addled Donald Trump just had a disastrous press conference in the Oval Office. He looked deeply unwell. He couldn't really even understand what the reporters were asking him. He confused his conspiracy.
Recently on Meet Us Touch, the team dissects Donald Trump's shocking and chaotic White House press conference. Trump appeared confused, mixed up conspiracy theories, and was caught lying about deals and fuel prices. The tension skyrockets as Trump is challenged repeatedly on his claims and fitness. Let's break this down together.
Theories. I'll give you this example. He was asked by a reporter about the latest MAGA conspiracy that they've been pushing this morning, that Obama had burn bags regarding the Russia hoax that the FBI just discovered. Now, MAGA and Trump's crew, they're trying to use this right now to cover up for Donald Trump's Epstein connections. But Donald Trump thinks the reporter is asking about Epstein. So Donald Trump says it's all a hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. Watch as Donald Trump just, again, very cognitively addled, and he kind of jumbles his conspiracies because he's just lying about everything. Play this clip.
Thousands of documents in these bags, supposedly burn bags at the FBI in the secret room.
Well, I want everything to be shown. You know, as long as it's fair and reasonable, I think it will be shown and it should be shown. And I think he feels that way, and I think Pam feels that way. But it's got to be, it's got to be stuff that really doesn't hurt people unfairly, because you have so many people involved. And if they can do that in a fair way, I think it's great. I think it's really great. The whole thing is a scam. It's a scam set up by the Democrats, and they love talking about it.
Here, Trump deflects serious questions by falsely labeling investigations as partisan scams, exposing how often power is wielded to sidestep accountability.
But I would like to see people exposed that might be bad, and we'll see how that all works out. But it's getting to be very old news. You know, if they had anything, they would have done it the week before the election, because they were losing by a lot. If they had anything, they would have done it. They controlled the file. The Democrats controlled it. Comey and all this, sleazebags, every one of them that you read about all the time. And I guess they've got some problems now having to do with yet a different scandal, very big one. But they control that file. So I would think that if they would have had something in the file, they would have released it about a week before the election, maybe 2 weeks, right, Brian?
And then you could even see when the reporter's asking Donald Trump about burn bags, and that's the term that's being used by his FBI and DOJ to try to distract from the Epstein stuff and Trump's connections with Epstein. And Trump's like, burn bags? Burn? What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, Kash Patel reportedly found burn bags of Russiagate materials, and I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
He said what?
Burn bags of Russiagate materials that the FBI supposedly found.
I don't know that. I don't know what you mean by that statement.
Despite being the focus of the investigation, Trump claims total ignorance about basic terms like burn bags, highlighting either evasiveness or a worrying lack of awareness.
Say
bags full of Russiagate documents.
A burn bag. I thought you said appointed a man named Burn Bag. Go ahead. You got to speak up.
Thousands of documents in these bags, supposedly burn bags at the FBI.
And then Donald Trump lies and says, we've made the greatest trade deals. He goes, Japan, they're sending us a check for $550 billion. He goes, Europe, they're sending us a check for $750 billion. 400 billion, 600 billion, 300 billion. He's literally just making up numbers. And no, they're not sending us checks. Japan said, there's no binding agreement. They're not sending us a check. They said maybe discretionary investments, but no different than what they already do. And the European Union said that they don't have the ability to give a $600 billion check to the United States. What the hell are you talking about? That's what they've already said. But here Donald Trump lies. Play this clip.
I think we're going to have the richest economy you've ever seen. We have money coming in that we've never even thought about at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. We have a deal with Japan where they're going to pay us $550 billion. We have a deal with Europe where they're doing $750 billion plus $400 billion plus $300 billion. And many other countries, it's likewise, relatively, those are two big ones. But
and again, speaking about Donald Trump being deeply cognitively addled during this press conference, Donald Trump doesn't realize that there are two Congress members standing right behind him. He's like, where's the congressman? Oh, you're right behind me? Here, watch this.
I'm thrilled to be joined by the bill's sponsor, Congressman Derek Van Orden. Where's Derek?
Right here.
Derek. Hello, Derek. I didn't see you back there.
Well, I'm a Navy SEAL. I snuck up on
Let's see. And Mike, how are you, Mike?
Mr. President.
These two gentlemen are terrific. They are working together, and they've been working together, Mike, a long time on this. So I just want to thank you both, and I'll ask you to say a couple of words. An estimated...
I told you, he's very sickly and very unwell. And he's just a liar about everything. He goes, in 3 states, gas prices are $1.99. It's so cheap, $1.99. It's not $1.99 everywhere. And inflation is increasing everywhere. Here, play this clip.
If you look at fuel, $2.35 a gallon, a lot of that. But we actually had 4 states where it's down $1.99, $1.99 as opposed to $3.50, $4. And it went up a lot higher than that. They got rid of my policy, and then it went through the roof. And then they brought my policy back, but it was too late. They blew it. We had the highest.
You ever realize how ridiculous your old wallet was after you finally upgrade? I used to carry around this bulky, beat up leather brick that barely fit in my pocket, cards falling out, cash crumpled up. I generally think it hurt my back. Then I found Ridge, and I've been obsessed ever since. I love my Ridge wallet. It is slim, sleek, and somehow holds up to 12 cards plus cash, all in this incredibly compact, modern design. Mine is the sea glass aluminum version, and I've gotten so many compliments on it, no joke. These are built with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. This thing will never fall apart, and it comes with a lifetime warranty, so it is literally the last wallet I will ever need. And I love this. It has RFID blocking technology, so no digital thieves are sneaking off with your info. I never realized how easy it was for thieves to steal your info by you simply being in their presence. Well, Ridge gives you peace of mind in your pocket. There's even a Ridge AirTag attachment, so you could always know where it is before you start to panic. And for a limited time, our listeners get 10% off at Ridge by using code MIDAS at checkout. So just head to ridge.com and use code MIDAS, MEIDAS, and you're all set. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
And just so you can see quickly this right-wing story that they're pushing today, this just fake propaganda story they're pushing, you have people like Benny Johnson saying, FBI Director Kash Patel reportedly found Russiagate documents hidden in burn bags inside secret FBI room. It's like the stupidest conspiracies they're spreading. From Fox, exclusive, Patel found thousands of sensitive Trump-Russia probe docs inside burn bags in secret room at the FBI. All right, there's a super serial secret room inside the CIA that they secretly just found all of this. And it's a big secret since 2016. And Russia, don't ask any questions about Jeffrey Epstein, except if you ask about burn bags, Donald Trump will think you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is asked about Senator Hawley introducing legislation that would ban members of Congress from owning stocks. And then Donald Trump's like, well, you know, this is really good because we got to stop Nancy Pelosi. She's the biggest grifter. Let's investigate Nancy Pelosi. You're literally the biggest grifter imaginable, Donald. You've made billions of dollars selling out the White House. And according to all of these reports, you're pushing to block that bill because it would ban trading in the White House in the VP's office. But play this clip.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hawley introduced legislation that would ban members of Congress from owning or trading individual stocks. It extends to the president and vice president. Are you in favor of that legislation?
Well, I like it conceptually. I don't know about it, but I like it conceptually. And, you know, Nancy Pelosi became rich by having inside information. She made a fortune with her husband, and I think that's disgraceful. So in that sense, I'd like it, but I'd have to really see I study these things very carefully, and this just happened. So I'll take a look at it. But conceptually, I like it. And what I do think is Nancy Pelosi should be investigated because she has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of
Trump projects blame onto critics, accusing Pelosi of corruption while ignoring glaring conflicts and allegations surrounding himself, a classic misdirection.
Wall Street, save a few. And how did that happen? It happened by she knows exactly what's going to happen, what's going to be announced. She buys stock, and then the stock goes up after the announcement's made. And she ought to be investigated.
Then Donald Trump is asked, well, what do you say to your critics who say that if you just start lowering interest rates, like by multiple points, it's going to result in inflation rising. And Donald Trump's like, well, then we'll just raise them again. That's what the Fed's doing, you idiot. Here, play this clip.
It was stronger than expected GDP report this morning. What do you say to analysts who worry that lowering interest rates would actually lead to inflation?
Well, if that happens, then we just raise them. What you do is you lower them, and let's see if there's inflation. Right now, there's no inflation. Everybody thought there would be. All we have is billions of dollars of cash pouring into our country from other countries that took advantage of us for many, many years. You know, they would.
Then Donald Trump just says, oh, well, we're negotiating with all these other countries to do deals. We're just going to do fake deals. You're just going to make up fake deals. We haven't seen a single piece of paper with any deal so far. Here, play this clip.
We're now negotiating with various other countries, and the rest we're just sending out the bill to. We send a bill, we send a letter saying that you'll pay a certain tariff. And obviously, that's most of them because you have, as you know, hundreds of countries, a lot of countries out there. So we look at the deficit or we look at the surplus, and we look at the country and how the country's treated us, and lots of other things go into the equation. And we make a decision as to what that tariff will be. And it's a pretty standard letter from that point on. And I want to tell you, this is something to me, it's a VA bill signing. And it's very important to me and to many of the people in this room.
Now, here's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, was giving a press conference at the same time Trump was giving a press conference. Here, play this clip.
Total PCE prices rose 2.5% over the 12 months ending in June. And that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.7%. These readings are little changed from the beginning of the year, although the underlying composition of price changes has shifted. Services inflation has continued to ease, while increased tariffs are pushing up prices in some categories of goods. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market-based and survey-based measures.
You see, it's clear inflation is on the rise. I mean, actual data and statistics being used there from Chairman Powell versus what Donald Trump is saying. 600 billion, 750 billion, a quadrillion, bajillion. Trump's just making up ridiculous fake numbers. By the way, the Midas Touch Network podcast, #1 of all YouTube right now. We just again beat Joe Rogan and killed Tony. Finally, here's Donald Trump's message to the parents of kids who are getting ready to go back to school. He's like, I've done it. Victory. We've gotten rid of the woke. The woke is gone. Here, play this clip.
It was. Many parents are preparing to send their kids back to school in a few weeks. Now, this will be the first time they've gone back to school under the second administration for you. Now, the previous administration labeled a lot of parents domestic terrorists for showing up at school board meetings. What's your message to parents now as they return their kids to school, knowing that they have the support of you?
Well, the beautiful thing is, as you know, we've gotten rid of the woke. Woke is gone, and I think pretty well buried. We're going to make sure it's buried. But the parents are now taking over the school boards. They're getting rid of these people that probably didn't like the children very much based on what they were doing. And it's a big difference. And, you know, one of the other things, and I keep watching these talking points that the Democrats have, they say, oh, prices are up. No, prices are way down.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think right there. May have heard my little baby crying in the background. She's with my wife right now and my niece, and she wasn't feeling all that good today. So I'm gonna see her right now. Thanks for watching.
Watching this disastrous press conference, it's clear Trump's answers raise more red flags than they resolve. From dodging burn bag questions to flipping blame and inflating his own record, the cracks in his narrative are impossible to ignore. This exposes the dangers of unchecked power and misinformation in the modern political era. What do you think, legit concern or just more political theater? Drop your take below, and don't forget to subscribe for Pulse on Society's daily breakdowns.